This is 95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
We're even on your smartphone at 957mrc.com.
And welcome back here to Clark Montessori Gym here on 3030 Erie Avenue. We're about to see the start of a good game where we see Cincinnati Christian come here to 3030 to face Clark Montessori, and I think this will be a really good match. You have a battle of pretty good records, over 500. Cincinnati Christian is 9-3 overall, 6-1 in conference play. Clark is 7-6 and 6-1 in conference play, just like Cincinnati Christian. So that is the start of a very good basketball, it seems. So I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Clark gets the ball first, and it's going to be Brazil Moore with the ball right now, and he's going to have to dish it over to Sean Ely. Sean Ely getting it to Miles Faison, kicking it out to DeShante Hawkins, kicking back out to Ely, to Faison, and now just kind of going around the wing as Clark often does. DeShante going in, passing it out, gives it to Marlon Lyons, then to Faison, then back to DeShante, but he airballs it, and that's going to be a rebound for CCS.
Slicing in for the first score of the game. It's Devin McKinnon. He's a sophomore, 6'1", as most of these Cincinnati Christian players are over 6 foot tall. Lots of movement throughout the perimeter for the Cougars. Good 2-3 zone coming out for Cincinnati Christian. Has a loose ball at the top of the middle spot over the first floor is Clark, but a jump ball is called. Possession Cincinnati Christian.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier CCS has a height advantage almost over almost everyone on this Clark team, maybe even everyone. Every single player has height as compared to every single player on Clark who doesn't so much. So that's going to be quite the difference we'll see here in this game.
Good trap defense at the very top of the key for the Cougars. Hawkins wants to go. He's going. He's got numbers. Kicks it back at the line. Stops the key for 3. Rips out. Defensive rebound for Cincinnati.
Lyons has been really good for Clark this year. He's now Clark's leading scorer on the year, which he started off barely playing, but now he's really transitioned into an important role for Clark.
Christian as he goes out on the Cougars.
And now going in, taking the ball in is going to be Brazil Moore. Brazil Moore and Miles Faison going into the outside the wing. Pass set Faison. Faison running right off the screen. So they have to take it over to DeShante Hawkins. He takes it to Brazil Moore. Back to Erie. Marlon Lyons, another 3. That is a miss. Rebounded by CCS. Moving down the floor is number 23, and there's going to be a foul on the floor. The man who got fouled was Cameron Rogers, there, the junior, the forward. And now...
So a lot of movement, but not so much action happening because we have a 2-0 score, 5:35 to go in this first quarter. And Sean Ely and the rest of the Clark Cougars, as we have 2 Cougars tonight, so we can't say that, Going around the perimeter as they usually do. A pull-up jump shot for about 20 feet away is Sean Ely, and he pushed off with his right hand, so that will be an offensive foul. Cincinnati Christian going the other way, and the Clark Cougars have yet to score.
Yeah, they have, but it's pretty early in the game. CCS still in the S2, so we'll have to see. Very early in the game still.
Logan Woods and Riley Reitner, along with Miguel Ringer, the two seniors, Ringer and Reitner, are going to be a nice steal by Brazil Moore at the top of the key. Going one-on-one to the hoop is going to be fouled and go to the free throw line by Logan Woods, the freshman, 6'2" guard.
That's the thing about these Clark players is they are sneaky. They get steals. They move fast. That's the advantage of being small for them, being able to just move around the floor more quickly, play better defense because they're on you more. Even though they don't have the height advantage, they have advantage in other ways.
Brazil Moore, a good free throw shooter on the season at 79%, misses the first.
Overall, Clark is shooting 70.1% from the line on the year. CCS is shooting 66.5%, so both are pretty close, and both are pretty good.
And just like that, he hits the second one. So finally on the board, Clark is with 5 minutes left to go. Ringer driving in, then kicking to Reitner. Reitner trying to do something on the post, does against Marlin Lions. Big on big, and Reitner won that matchup, 4-1.
Yeah, and this Clark offense, both offenses are moving really fast so far, which is good, especially Clark. Clark is just moving towards the other end of the floor with such speed. It's really impressive.
They're going to have to use that speed if they want to contend with the height that CCS has in that 2-3 zone that they're playing. Faison driving in the middle of the lane, no good. And another defensive rebound, one and done for the offense of Clark. Nice kick out wide open from the corner, no good. From CCS, loose ball picked up by CCS underneath, and a nice, easy putback.
That was Miguel Ringer, yeah, right there. And now Brazil Moore, the other number 2, moving it up the floor. He will find nothing. He's going to pass it off to Faison. Faison going in, losing it, getting it back out to Lyons. The 3, drills it, hits it, finishes it. Really impressive stuff right there.
Yeah, what's interesting about Marlin Lyons is he's the tallest player that's going to be presented, except for Steph Curry, on the Clark Cougars team, and he's going to be spending most of his time around the perimeter as there's going to be a defensive foul by Clark.
Lyons is going to be really important in this game because he just about matches everybody on CCS, unlike pretty much every other player on Clark, so he's really going to be essential. Yeah, height-wise. And he's also been shooting the majority of the shots so far for Clark.
Nice take as Logan Woods rims out. Unlucky rim for him. Going the other way quickly, it's to Shanti Hawkins. Hawkins one-on-one, misses the lay-in. Tip goes out of bounds. We'll stay with Clark on this side. Well, the speed was there, just not the execution. He's going that fast. He's got to slow down a little bit.
The thing about that is when you slow down, you give the opportunity for the bigger, slower defenders to come back. And that's exactly what you don't want to happen. And
they reversed the call here while you were discussing that. They reversed the call. Apparently it was out on Clark. So 6-4 your score, 3:27 to go in this first quarter. A quick moving first quarter, not many fouls, only 3 total, 2 against Clark, 1 against CCS. Top of the key, Rogers. And now loose ball picked up by CCS at the top of the key, and finding its way down the post is Cameron Rogers again scoring on the low post.
And another good job from CCS. They're also doing really well at moving the ball and being able to get high-quality shots. They're a very good team in field goal percentage overall. Extremely good, in fact.
One thing that Clark is going to have to do outside of rebounding is getting those loose balls, and they haven't done so today. DeShante, his second three-point attempt is well short, just like his first air ball was, only from the opposite side of the court. 8-4 your score. Quickly down is CCS. Going to the hole is Woods. Logan will go to the free throw line as a defensive foul will be called on Clark.
And now you have CCS up 4 and with an opportunity to go up by 6. And that's a really bad start to this first quarter if you're Clark. Because even though you're doing things well, you're transitioning, you're getting steals, and you're getting to the basket well, it's just not the execution that's there.
You're right.
That free
Woods
throw
didn't execute on that
Reitner.
first free throw, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for us.
Yeah.
But he's their best free throw shooter on the team at an 86% clip. And he was 25 for 29 until that miss. So he's 25 for 30 now. And see if he goes, nope, goes 1 for 1. So 26 for 31 he is. And that puts the score at 9-4 in favor of the Cincinnati Christian Cougars.
We're not going to mention Cougars too much because it gets too confusing for us and for you at home. So there we go. And now they're moving the ball up the floor, but a little bit of confusion. Wally yelling at the officials, and now they're going to keep going. Pass to DeShanti Hawkins, back to Faison, and Faison with these defenders, it's hard to get past. So they kick it out to Lions, another three, but a miss. Will they get it back? No, it goes all over the place, and it is gotten back by Ringer.
Well, a jump ball has been called on the rebound, which is the only way they're going to get possessions on the rebound so far this evening, and they will keep that possession. 3 fouls on the Cougars. The inbounds pass was looking for Lions, and he couldn't handle the hot ball right underneath the basket, and the turnover. Cincinnati Christian now with possession.
That's something Clark's always struggled with. They're able to get turnovers, but they're also able to create turnovers, and not in the good way. That's one of their many inconsistencies.
Pull-up jump shot by Rogers is off the mark. A nice defensive rebound now. Clark pushing. Shanti back to Terrence McLean, who's recently entered the game. Terrence McLean at the top of the key and now reversing ball. Brazil will reset in that 2-3 zone that Cincinnati Christian is playing. Those long arms at the top with Miguel Ringer, and Cole Martin. So looking to create somewhere, do something. They got to penetrate, maybe kick.
This is the way the Clark offense rolls. They go outside until they find something inside.
Yeah, Terrence McLean got stuck in trying to reverse the ball. He was underneath the hoop and tried to kick it back out, but he stepped on the baseline, and another turnover by Clark.
Yeah, it has not been a pretty start for them in terms of, keeping the ball, and that's exactly what you hate to have happen this early in the game because, later in the game, okay, it's a bit justified. Everybody's getting a bit tired, but this is the very start of the game, and this is the worst scenario for this to happen for Clark.
Yeah, slow start, but quick start for Ringer as he goes to the hole quickly down the lane and scoops and scores. 11-4, now under a minute to go in this first quarter. Only 4 points for Clark as Faison changes that by scooping and scoring his way into the lane, making it 11-6, 48 seconds to play. Now coming up is McKinnon. McKinnon turns the ball over to Shanti, looking at 42 seconds behind the back. Looking to go one-on-one against Martin, kicks it back out. Now reverse the ball. Faison looking to drive. Kicks it out. Lots of movement with the ball, but no decisions being made. They really need to start trying to score some points here. No shot clock, so we have 25 seconds to go. Let's see if they're content with this last possession of the quarter.
Yeah, well, if you're here, you do need to get a smart shot, and that's what they're trying to fish for right now.
Lions got good position underneath. Blocked!
See, that was not a smart shot.
And quickly down the floor, head coach for Clark is looking for a foul.
Lions he was going up against about 3 other guys that were his height down low. He thought he could convert, but he couldn't.
So a loose ball goes out of bounds. Will be Clark's basketball for this last 8 seconds. A lot of loose balls in this first quarter. 5 seconds to play. Brazil Moore kicks out. Faison's got to put it up. He does wildly, and it's well off the mark.
Hey, it hit rim. It hit rim.
Barely. Well, and that's kind of indicative of their first quarter here. Kind of sloppy.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can rebound. 11-6 to score. So we didn't get a lot of time before the game to start. And I'm sorry if you finally are tuning into us. We are Cincinnati Christian and Clark Montessori High School here at 3030 Erie Avenue here at Clark Montessori High School in Hyde Park for tonight's game against 2 6-1 Miami Valley Conference foes. And this is a big game.
Yeah. It is. I mean, I mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. Just the record is showing, especially conference record, is showing just how close these two teams are. Cincinnati Christian on the year is 9-3, Clark 7-6. Conference records are both 6-1, and this is the stat I really like. It shows the difference between scoring and defense. Cincinnati Christian gets 63.4 points a game. Clark only gets 55.7, but Cincinnati Christian allows 49.6. Clark only allows 40.1. So that's a big difference there, and that's why I'm really excited to see this matchup, because Clark has the defense, Cincinnati Christian has the offense, and who knows who will win out in the battle. We just saw in the JV game, Clark go on a 12-0 run in order to take back the lead from Cincinnati Christian and go on to win that. And that was a really good game at the end.
Yeah, JV game did not disappoint. Well, after one quarter, Clark is getting out-rebounded quite a bit, 5-1. And it doesn't surprise me here that the turnover margin is quite different, not in the favor of Clark either. 5 turnovers for Clark heading into this second quarter. As we start competition again, Cincinnati Christian will have the ball to start. Driving the lane is Reitner. Reitner losing the ball. Reitner, a 6'6" guy, getting guarded by Marlon Lyons, and he shuffled his feet. Turnover.
I'll tell you one thing that I've noticed about the Cincinnati Christian just players is that they're big guys, but they're like not big guys. They're still fast, they're still lanky, they're still good.
As a shooter would, DeShanti trying to get his stroke right. Still 0 for 3 from three-point land. One and done again. Cincinnati Christian having possession. It looks like Clark will be in a 2-3 zone as well, but maybe more of a matchup zone as it's broken, and inside that is Logan Woods converting on a three-point opportunity now.
Logan Woods has been the best player for Cincinnati Christian so far this year. He's averaging 4.6 assists, which is the best in the entire conference, which is really impressive. And he's averaging 12.3 points a game to boot. So very good. Also, he's fourth in conference play in field goal percentage, 56.7. Very scary for Clark.
Yeah, and he converts that three-point opportunity, making the score 14-6. We're 1 minute into this second quarter and only one shot for Clark. We have to use our quickness on offense. We need to start getting something going, something sparked, and Wally figuring that out takes the timeout and trying to talk to his players. A lot of what makes Clark so good is that they move the ball, they drive, they kick, and they make transition points. Right now, they have 0 transition points. They're not rebounding. They're turning the ball over, and they're not making shots. DeShanti's 0 for 3 from 3. Marlon Lyons has maybe hit 1. They got 6 points. No one is doing anything offensively for Clark right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Half the time with Clark, when they have it going, when they're kicking it out, when they're making good shots, when they're going out from the basket, they have good team chemistry. It feels like nothing can stop them. But as soon as you have one little slip up, it turns into 2, and then 3, and then all of a sudden you're down by 8 right now. And that's the moments where you have to call a timeout and you have to tell the guys, hey, get back into it. I know you can do better.
Offensively, the senior DeShanti Hawkins needs to lead this team if they need scoring. Sean Elam in the last matchup scored 24 points against this team. He is not shy to pull the trigger. We have not seen him do so yet tonight. Shanti driving from the right side will be fouled, and only the second team foul for Cincinnati Christian.
It hasn't been good for Clark. Just in general, we keep saying it, but not many fouls have been even committed, mostly by Clark.
Wild inbounds pass by Faison, who just came into the game for Brazil Moore, and then Marlon Lyons throws it away. So another turnover for Clark. I think we have more turnovers now than points.
Yeah, you just heard me yawn. I feel like that's the collective Clark basketball team right now.
Well, a turnover just happened on the other end. Faison doing a nice job in the backcourt, stealing the ball and laying it in himself. Faison has 4 points, half the team's points now on just layups.
I guess I spoke too soon, huh? Well,
Reitner looking down. Whoa, and a hard foul.
Hard foul.
On Bryson Teague, the sophomore. Had a wide open look at the layup, but a hard foul by Clark will put him at the free throw line.
And that also shows that Clark's already getting annoyed with their play. They're already thinking, okay, no, we don't want this to happen. So they're going to try to do everything in their power in order to stop it, but it's not really working right now, obviously, because they're still down 6. Now 7 with that made free throw.
Yeah, Bryson Teague's a good free throw shooter at 79%, hits both. Now doubling the score. And we got substitutions coming in for Cincinnati Christian. Cincinnati Christian is on a high right now. You can see the bounce in their step. Up 8 against the Clark Cougars with 6 minutes to go in this first half. Clark needs to do something offensively. 5 team fouls for Clark. They need to stop fouling and start contributing on the offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, it seems so simple, but I mean, it really isn't, especially with all these big guys. Clark has faced troubles like this in the past when they've gone against big guys.
Good look down underneath by Faison. A bunny is missed by Deshaunte Hawkins. Hawkins upset of himself. It's okay, though. I mean, at least they got a good look. It's good offense. The ball went out to Cincinnati Christian. Clark has possession. They'll continue it. So let's see if they can convert here. Shanti with the ball, wing, between his legs, goes baseline, trying to do something. Nice defense by Cincinnati Christian. That's Cameron Rogers, the junior, guarding the senior on the opposite side. Sean Ely now leading the Clark Cougars. Top of the key. Trying to orchestrate something here against this 2-3 zone. Pass knocked away, corralled by Cincinnati Christian, and then a foul.
Was that on Clark? It looks like it was.
No, it went out of bounds. It went out of
really?
bounds on Cincinnati Christian, so now Clark will have possession. Just a weird sequence of events there. Shot Ely from the far wing, short. Rebound to Shanti Hawkins from about 10 feet, short. A lot of short basketballs, and then stolen again by Deshaunte.
Just a series of breaks, losing the ball, getting it back, shooting it, missing it, rebound from us, and then putting it back and then making it. Absolute crazy.
Third time's a charm is good. 12-10, and now on the other end, a missed attempt layup by Cincinnati Christian goes out of bounds. Off Cincinnati Christian, quickly, the pace has picked up quite a bit now. That was quick before, but now the Cougars need to look. The Clark Cougars need to look to really penetrate that 2-3 zone. Down by 6 points, 4:40 to go in this first half. Hawkins from the left wing loses the ball, and a jump ball will be called. We'll stay here with Clark.
Yeah, that you mentioned, they haven't really been able to penetrate that 2-3 zone so far. They've gotten into there, but it's taken quite a bit of time, too much time, and they've only made their shots from the 3.
Terrence McLean driving, now kicking out. Good ball movement. Sean Ely from the top of the key. Back rims it. Rebound by Cincinnati Christian. Cincinnati Christian come the other way. They have numbers 3-2. Reitner back to somebody who was wide open, and I couldn't see him because he just got nailed. That is Ringer. He tried to block Ringer's shot, and I couldn't see anything because there was a lot of bodies and they were on the floor. So all I know is Ringer's going to have 2 shots.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier when I was saying that they couldn't penetrate the 2-3 zone, think about it like this. Deshaunte Hawkins has 2 3 shots already. Marlon Lyons has 3 shots already. And Sean Ely has 2 already. That is a combined 7 already. And, you know, Clark's only gotten 10 points from it. And it hasn't just been that. It's been free throws and a few inside. But, I mean, that just shows how desperate Clark is, you know, already. And we're not even through the second quarter yet, the first half.
Yeah, this is not a good half so far for Clark. They need to get out of here. Hopefully they can take the next 4 minutes and create something positive as Ringer hits both free throws. The lead now ballooned back up to 8, which is the largest we've had. 10-18, 4:10 to go in this first half. Clark looking to do something against this 2-3 zone now. In the corners, Ely looking for Marlon Lyons on the post. Lyons losing it. Cincinnati Christian going the other way now under 4 minutes to play. Man-to-man is the defense for Clark. Reitner getting free. Driving to the lane, loses it. Will stay here with Cincinnati Christian.
Something Cincinnati Christian's done really well at that Clark is also done well too, but Cincinnati Christian especially is just ball movement and smart passing where it won't really be intercepted.
Nice inbounds play to Ringer. Someone fell asleep on their assignment underneath. And now the largest lead of the game is 10, doubling the score for Clark.
Yeah, and that's ugly whenever you have your score doubled, especially when it's after the first quarter. This is the moment where Clark really has to make a comeback. If you wait any longer, you won't be able to come back at all.
It just seems they get caught in positions where they're getting trapped by this 2-3 zone. This 2-3 zone has caused a lot of havoc around the perimeter. Sean Ely now pump fakes and goes into the lane. Reitner, though, that 6'6 frame blocking his shot as he goes to the rim. We'll stay here with Clark.
That's the thing. I mean, it's so easy for Cincinnati Christian to just do a zone because everybody on their team is big. There's not a single player that's been out on the court that's been shorter than any of the players on Clark, maybe. I mean,
speaking of substitutions in height, Steph Curry, the junior coming into the ballgame, the 6'6" junior, trying to maybe give Marlin Lyons a break and give them a spark underneath. Clark now trying to orchestrate something up top. Down by 10, 3 minutes to go in this first half. Let's see what they can do. A ball screen set, that's what they need more of. I love ball screens at the top, and they're starting to do that a little bit. They got it down, and they just keep passing it around the perimeter. They need to start doing a little bit. There's a nice ball screen up top, but they got to cut towards the basket. All they're doing is staying around the perimeter,
Clark never
Joey.
changes their game plan whenever it's like that. They always try to find something in the interior. It doesn't matter how tall they are. It doesn't work.
Good pump fake. Ely from 20 feet away. Short again. A lot of short shots. In transition the other way. McKinnon. Short on a layup. Again, second try. No good. Rebound Steph Curry, and he is going to be fouled by Cincinnati Christian.
I mean, I just don't know what to say. I feel like every game that Clark even gets a little down, they just don't change their game plan. And it's just really bad. I know, they just never switch it up. Even they only change it up when they're down 10 like they are right now. And then
they need to do something. They need to do something. I think Wally wants to really tell his team to start playing more downhill towards the basket rather than around the perimeter, because these ball screens, as Ashanti tries to set one for Brazil, they just keep flying back out towards the three-point line and getting themselves in trouble and further away from the basket.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help them whenever they just go slightly in the arc and then just go right back out again. It's just not helpful like DeShanti did right there.
Ely doing a nice job pump faking. Cross-court pass to Hawkins. Hawkins one-on-one. Bounce pass to Ely on the opposite side. Wing three is good. Finally, one goes down for the Clark Cougars. Trying to do the press. Broken easily by CCS. Rogers. And now back out. Woods orchestrating, driving on Brazil. Now kicking underneath. An easy layup against Sean Ely.
When Clark gets a three ball, like a great shot like Ely just had, it's so easy for CCS to just come back and get an easy layup to just kill all that momentum that they just got. Oh.
The defense right now is smothering the ball pressure on the guards outside the perimeter, and they finally get something underneath, and the shot is blocked. Just emphatically out of bounds, and the fans here from Cincinnati Christian are really happy with this 9-point advantage with 1:14 to go.
That's Riley Rutner's second or third block.
Again, DeShanti Hawkins fires from deep, and again, he's no good. He's just not even anywhere close right now.
It's like, you know, a team that only shoots threes. That's what it looks like right now. Like, I could make
Clark takes a timeout, 30 seconds. Go ahead, Joey.
I could make a comparison to the NBA right now.
I would love that. I was waiting for that. We almost got through the first half without an NBA reference. I thought we were going to be in some sort of new partnership here.
So the Houston Rockets are a team that shoots a lot of three balls. They have James Harden, they have Eric Gordon, they have Chris Paul. They got a lot of good shooters. PJ Tucker, I could go on, but I won't. And Clark is trying to act like they have those shooters with Sean Ely, DeShanti Hawkins, Marshawn Lyons. I mean, they're acting like they have those guys, even though they don't. Like they have a lot of good shooters. No,
you're right. You're right. They do. But just like James Harden the other night went 1 for 16. You know, not everyone has their night. Remember, Clark just came off a big win against New Miami. Now, New Miami is a good team as we get inbounds. Nice inbounds play. Ely short of the rim. Marlon Lyons and Steph Curry now into the ball game. Second miss. Lyons on the rebound, and Cincinnati Christian gets that rebound underneath the hoop. Going the other way with 1 minute left. Ringer to the hoop, but rejected by Clark. Going the other way, they have numbers. Shanti Hawkins going against that height. Finally makes a runner into the lane in transition, going to the line for a three-point opportunity.
Block to and one. Now that is definitely switching the momentum, and that's not something that CCS, the momentum can't be brought back in one layup. That is a lot of momentum on Clark's side now.
And that's Clark's game.
Yeah, exactly. But you're about to head into the locker room, so you really need to convert on that before this 54.3 seconds is up.
No, it's okay. Right now, they're within striking distance. If they make this shot, which DeShanti's been struggling from the line all year, he's around 42%. As he swishes that and proves me wrong, which is a great thing. Now only down by 6. They're full court pressure here, trying to create a turnover. Will be broken. Ringer has the ball, guarded by Faison. Miles playing good defense right around midcourt. Announcers Jake, he played good defense and he tried to reach around. There's no need for that. He's at midcourt. Why are you trying to foul him? And they're in the bonus, so it's a one-on-one opportunity. Just a bad foul.
He just gave Ringer a great big hug, but it's not the type of hug that you want in this situation. I mean,
well, Ringer wanted it. We didn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's tough. I mean, really, I don't know how to stress it anymore. The problems that Clark is facing right now is something that really, it's hard to be solved because, you want to say, oh yeah, it's going to be fixed magically, but the fact is that Clark is at a disadvantage. It doesn't matter if they're, it doesn't matter if they're 12-0 and Cincinnati Christian's 0-12. There's a height difference, and that's really going to hurt them no matter what.
So Ringer makes both, quieting the crowd. 24-16, 8-point lead. Now with 38 seconds to go. Let's see if they're going to run out this clock and try for one possession. Wally wants them to go. Marlin Lions double teamed around the perimeter. Just passing around the perimeter and nothing happening. There's no movement, 22 seconds. Faison one-on-one. Now Ely in the corner tries to bring it back out, dribbles it out. Now Lions, 14 seconds. They're just got to settle for this one possession. Shooting now is going to give CCS if they miss. Marlin Lions now passing it cross court to Ely. 4 seconds. They're going to have to put it up. Long three from almost the Cougar. Rattles out. It was close, but I mean they just had the ball for 40-something seconds, and that's the shot they get to end the second quarter in the first half. So let's put this behind us.
Yeah.
Clark needs to do that. The 8-point deficit is going to continue us into that second half, but it's a new game. They're going to have to come out with some type of intensity it's a little bit different game plan against this height and against this defense. So, for Joey Olberding, my name is Patrick Lewis. Thank you for joining us here. Right now, we are going to take a 8-minute break, and we'll see you on the other side of halftime.
Yeah, see you after this break.
Beamin'.
New music, you heard?
Beamin' the boom. From high atop Essex Studios, this is WVQCLP Cincinnati.
95.7.
95.7.
95.7.
95.7 MRC.
Cincinnati's new music.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 3030 Erie Avenue here in Cincinnati, Ohio, Hyde Park, where your Clark Montessori Cougars are in an 8-point deficit and really a dogfight right now with the Cincinnati Christian Cougars. With the score 24-16, we're about to start the second half, and quite honestly, Joey, we're going to have to see a different Clark team if this is going to be a different score at the end of this ball game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's different with CCS and Clark right now is really simple. It's spreading around points. It's spreading around, possessions. You've seen CCS being really good with their ball movement. The main scorer is Ringer for CCS. He has 8, but Clark is much more ball hoggy, it seems so far. They love making their own shots. Even if they're passing it around, the guy who's moving it around the most isn't likely to pass it out if they're going to the interior, which, I mean, I don't think that's good play at all. So you want to see that change here in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely, and Cincinnati Christian will start with possession. Up 8, we'll see if the defense for Clark will try to create turnovers, and they come out with aggression. Nice job on the ball. Air ball, and then, but honestly, the luck of Cincinnati Christian tonight goes right back into Ringer's hands down low.
Miss.
And then Lions, instead of trying to grab the ball, just swats it out of bounds. So we'll stay with Cincinnati Christian. So 2 attempts for Cincinnati Christian, 0 for 2, but a lot better defensive effort so far.
Well, I mean, we'll see how that lasts. I mean, it's been, one possession so far. It's not much to base it on, even if you want to see it keep going.
Deep 3 is good by Logan Woods.
Just as I say.
Woods, the leading scorer you're talking about, he is 48% from 3. knocks down. He is a freshman.
Yeah, in general, this team is pretty good. 38% from 3. Yeah, they're quite good. They're pretty good.
So the defense now switched up. It looks like it's a 1-3-1 zone or maybe a 2-3 zone. It's definitely a zone, but from the looks of it, it's trapped is Ely, gets it out, and a nice job by doing so. Gets it to Faison. Faison misses the layup. Now going Cincinnati Christian in transition.
It's easy to get trapped like that with all those big guys around.
Nice pass to Ringer underneath. No resistance from Clark on that transition point, and now the largest lead, balloon to 13 for Cincinnati Christian.
Yeah,
29-16.
Yeah, 10 points for Ringer too. He's doing really well for CCS.
So let's see what kind of things that Cincinnati Christian does to change. A nice drive, and it falls in for Brazil Moore.
Hitting the layup, putting it in, really impressive stuff. And now Ringer moving it up the floor, and he's going to take it back out right now, going up against Brazil Moore. And he almost lost it. Brazil Moore couldn't get it back. And now Faison and Moore going against him, but he's so tall and
a timeout.
Timeout right there.
So I think you can see some positive energy coming from the defensive side of the ball for Clark. And I believe we've only had 2 possessions for Clark on the offensive end, but it looks like they're coming out in a 1-3-1. And I think Cincinnati Christian's doing that just to mix things up a little bit to try to keep Clark off their toes, because the 2-3 zone was very, very productive for them. Yeah. So they're going to stay in the zone. Try to make them shoot from the outside. Their outside shooting for Clark, I believe, is around 26. Yeah, it's 26% from 3. And I believe, Cincinnati Christian is shooting 38%. Yeah, so it's about 12 points higher in a percentage now. That's a lot.
Yeah, and especially the way Clark's been shooting so far. We mentioned it a lot in the first half, but I'll say it again. There have been so many forced shots by Clark from beyond the arc that really it's just quite embarrassing.
So we'll see what Cincinnati Christian does. Quick inbounds pass to McKinnon. McKinnon stepped on the baseline and turnover. And turnovers were the story for the first half for Clark. 9 turnovers for Clark, only 5 for Cincinnati Christian. It's 29-18, 6 minutes to go in this third quarter. Let's see what kind of offense they bring out. 2-3 zone, nice passing, interior. There was a block and a foul will be called. Sean Ely trying to get into the act now. We'll go to the free throw line.
Well, the more free opportunities for free throws that you can get, the better. Even though Clark consistently has been kind of inconsistent, even though their free throw percentage is
they're consistently inconsistent.
No, exactly. They are. Like, they shoot 70%, but when they're off, they're really off. But when they're on, they're like on. So, I mean, when they're off, there's rare opportunities where they really need to convert those free throws, and they just can't. It is the absolute worst. But when they can, it can be the force driving them back into a game.
Cincinnati Christian was perfect from the line in the first half, and now Clark perfect from the line in the second half as Ely knocks both down, bringing the lead back to 9. So let's see if their defense can create some turnovers. Drive is no good for Cincinnati Christian. We're going quickly. Brazil Moore serving, and that looks like a goaltending. It hit the backboard first, so that's an easy call. We'll let that one drop, and Brazil Moore doing a nice job doing a crossover as he gets into the lane in transition. So now a 7-point game. Good press. Cincinnati Christian trying to break it, gets across midcourt, but DeShanti gets a hand on it, see if they call a foul or out of bounds. Looks like he just knocked it out of bounds. DeShanti pleading his case, saying it was off Ringer.
Yeah, well, over there it was kind of tough to see from our angle, but I think that it was off of CCS right there, but I think it was really close. I mean, it could have gone either way, and I would have accepted it.
Good defense around the perimeter for Clark, and throwing it away is Cincinnati Christian. But did they say it's tipped? Yep, they said it was tipped, so we're going to stay with Clark.
Okay. And once again, good defense for Clark right now.
Yeah, some positive things coming from Clark right now.
Yeah, it's a very good start to the second half right now, and it's exactly what you need. Exactly.
Ringer just inside the arc. Nice shot. Yeah, he's been on fire right now.
Yeah.
So 31-22. Let's see what they can do to respond. Now a 9-point advantage. Back up to that. 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Inside is Ely, who looked like he got fouled. It did.
Yeah.
Makes the shot for a 3-point opportunity.
looking at the score right now with no context, you'd think that Clark's behind still by quite a bit, 31-24, but with the free throw can make it 25, and there's no doubt that the momentum right now is on Clark's end. They finished out the first half with momentum on their side, it looked like, and now it's definitely on their side.
Yeah, a good point to make is that they look like they could have been down much worse than 8 points at half, but right now they're in it with a 7-point disadvantage right now. And Cincinnati Christian, as he misses the free throw, Cincinnati Christian now trying to do something man-to-man, and, well, unfortunately, Faison got beat up top of the key, and that made it a real nice 2-on-1, and Cincinnati Christian finished underneath.
Unfortunately, as soon as you get it down low, it is truly a struggle. Faison looking around the defense, trying to go in, is going to try to pass it out to Ely. Ely, knocks,
that's gonna be a charging
knocks
foul.
over 13. That is Devin McKinnon, and yeah, that is a clear charge right there, no doubt about it.
Yeah, good footwork by McKinnon to get in front of him on the defensive side. So that's another turnover. It'll be their first team foul too. So got to watch those team fouls. They got pretty out of control for Clark. Breaking the pressure is easy. Ringer, 2-on-3. Ringer goes right into, I believe that's at Faison.
Yeah.
Yep, Faison. Well, he did a bad thing getting around. Ringer got around him that previous possession, but made up for it there by taking the charge in transition, creating that turnover.
Hey, it's like it never even happens. It's like we're resetting the offense, take a few seconds off the clock. Yeah, sometimes it's good to reset, even though that's not how you'd like to do it. It can still be good. You can draw up a new play, and then we can see what happens here.
All right, 2-3 zone now for Cincinnati Christian. Getting into the middle is a great way to do that. They did, but now kicking it back out. Hawkins in the corner. Now resetting, rotating the ball. Ely driving baseline is corralled. Puts it up and in. Nice soft touch from Ely inside the paint. 33-26, under 4 now.
Yeah, when Ely is on fire, he really gets his team going. I don't think I've seen a game from Clark where if Ely's off, Clark's doing well, and if Ely's on, then Clark isn't doing well. He is the main driving force for this team.
Ringer penetrating, then kicking into the paint, and we're going to have a foul on Deshaunte Hawkins. Hawkins making sure they didn't make that shot. We'll call it on the floor, though, and it'll be under the basket inbounds play.
And now the score's ever closer. CCS has 33, Clark 26. And right now in the battle with the Cougars, the away Cougars are winning, but it's not by as much as it looks like.
Traveling violation. The inbounds passer trying to find someone underneath. That is Logan Woods with that traveling violation. So it kind of feels like with the team fouls and then the turnovers, Cincinnati Christian is more like Clark in this second half. You know what I mean? Like you got more team fouls for Cincinnati Christian, now more turnovers for Cincinnati Christian.
Yeah,
Clark has an opportunity to really take advantage of that.
Well, I mean, Patrick, they're both Cougars. Their colors are both blue and white. So really, what's the difference?
Pull-up jump shot from the baseline. It's missed by Sean Ely, but a nice putback while in the air is Deshaunte Hawkins.
Clark's also doing really well on the boards right now. Even with the height disadvantage, they've managed to make it work. Boxing out players, doing really well.
Nice spin move. Baseline is McKinnon. Putting that back up now. 7-point advantage. Clark has scored 12 points this quarter. More than either quarter combined right now.
Yeah, doing much, much better than they have in the past in this game. So,
well, what they've done differently is trying to get the ball into the middle, and a bad pass by Faison cross court got lucky there. Came back to Deshaunte. So now they'll reset. 2:35 to play. Brazil penetrating, kicking, and stolen. They got numbers. Martin going down the other end will miss the layup. Deshaunte now has numbers. 3-on-2 for the Cougars. Clark fouled. Marlon Lyons getting his shot blocked, but fouled in the process. We'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Deshaunte's always been very good at rebounding, even though he's a small guy, which is really important in a game like this, where in the first half it didn't look like he was doing much with that height. In fact, he was doing really bad overall. now that he's in the second half, he's doing a lot better, so you just have to appreciate that. Missed the first.
Yeah, Marlon is a 70% free throw shooter. He's not a bad free throw shooter, but plays a lot of minutes because of his height, and he's only the big man other than Steph Curry on this team that's above 6 foot tall.
And Steph Curry doesn't play a lot of minutes anyway, so it's mostly Lions out there.
Converts on the second, 35-29. Now a 6-point advantage. They've really cut this deficit in this third quarter. A big third quarter for Clark. 4 team fouls for CCS as a turnover. Sean Neely with no one in front of him. Lays it in, almost missed it. Hits back iron, got a nice soft touch. I really like the soft touch that Ely has around the rim. Now a 4-point lead. Good press by Clark. CCS will break it though. Looking for a charge, will not get the charge call, but we have a continuation. He made the shot for Cincinnati Christian. It's going to be a blocking foul easily. He definitely leaned into him. They're going to call it a continuation. So a 3-point opportunity now. Man, that's tough.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but now Sean Ely with 11. And you know what it reminds me of? The tournament game played last year between Clark and CCS, in which Clark actually knocked off CCS in that game from continuing in the tournament. And that was a big game for Sean Ely. He scored 24 points. Right now he has 11. Sean Ely's doing the best for Clark right now. So, hey, maybe we'll see more of him.
Yeah, we hope so. We need him because Rogers just completed that 3-point play. Now the lead ballooned back up to 7. Ringer back in the game after a quick breath. It seemed like they did really well with him outside.
Yeah.
Once Ringer comes back, we'll see if they can continue that success. Down 7, 1:40 to go in this third quarter.
And now,
zone.
And now passing all around, Miles Faison trying to get it out. Gets it to DeShanti Hawkins. DeShanti Hawkins trying to go in, lays it up, hits the other end of the rim and can't get it to go. And then now...
Yeah, that rebound by Marlon Lyons should have gone in. He's upset of himself as we're going the other way and transition quickly. And scoring is Cameron Rogers. So 5 quick points by Rogers puts it back up to 9. Quickly, you can see how we were just down 4, but now down by 9. And again, we're getting into this perimeter passing, kind of ball screen action. Marlon Lyons from the corner could have been deadly, but off the mark. Defensive rebound. Rogers quickly going the other way. And a foul will be called on Faison. Faison puts his hands up knowing that he could have been called for that foul, and he did. That's his 4th foul on Faison. Faison, a big part of this team, not only for passing, but for free throw shooting, one of the best free throw shooters on this team, and they're going to have to hit their foul shots. They're gonna inbound it now. CCS underneath, as Marlon will come out, and we have a very small lineup, very small. So Lyons and Steph Curry are both on the bench, and with that small lineup, Shanti made a foul right on the inbounds play. So 14 fouls now for each team. 47 seconds to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, it's hard to go uphill than downhill, but, you know, it's really tough because you're doing so well, but as soon as you start going downhill, it becomes a spiral, and now all that forward momentum seems gone.
Yeah, 2 opportunities for CCS go without scoring, so Clark in transition the other way, trying to go quickly. Shanti going baseline, floats it in. Nice job by DeShanti Hawkins with a bunch of people around him, a couple of trees. So the small lineup will have to play good defense for the last 22 seconds to give Lions a breather on the bench to start the fourth quarter with.
Yeah.
CCS will be content here to hold the ball for their last possession. 12 seconds now.
I mean, they definitely have the advantage right now. There's no debating that.
Mar with ball top of the key is being pressured by Faison, loses the ball, then picks it back up and somehow gets the ball off. And just an unfortunate end for Clark, but a good end for CCS. And Martin did a nice job putting the ball in the basket after he lost control, picked it up, floated in for now a 7-point advantage for Cincinnati Christian going into the fourth quarter. And we're right back kind of where we started. We had a kind of a roller coaster point-wise for this third quarter. We were at our closest deficit of 4 points. It ballooned up close to double digits again, but we had that 8-point deficit going into halftime, and now we have that 7-point deficit going into the fourth quarter. So really, only 1 point difference.
Yeah. And yeah, this has been quite the game because Clark has been able to make a comeback, important one at that. But I mean, it just hasn't worked out for them because as soon as they start gaining that advantage, CCS is able to come right back, just get a few buckets, maybe a 3, just 2 twos or something like that, maybe even just 1 and 1, and all that momentum is gone. And you know, Clark really needs a miracle here if they want to come back.
Well, I don't know if they need a miracle. They need to stick with their game. When they were successful, they got the ball in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? They rounded around the free throw line where a zone is vulnerable. And then they made a move, they passed, or they made a move towards the basket, and that's when they started scoring. Okay?
Yeah.
If not, they have their teammates start to rebound and get second chance opportunities. And we didn't see that from the second half of the third quarter.
Yeah.
They did that for the first part of it, and they came out with a lot of aggression and assertiveness, and that's what got them back in the game. But I bet you Wally, the head coach for Clark, is going to tell them, what happened to that? We need some more of that aggression. And Clark is going to start with the basketball and down 7. So, final frame of this. We'll see how they come out here. 2-3 zone I'm expecting from CCS.
Yeah. Well, Clark's offense can be very situational, so we'll have to see if it changes depending on what happens. As Miles Faison has the ball, passes around to Sean Ely. Sean Ely passes back to Faison and telling Brazil Moore to cut around, so they pass to him and cut to Deshanti. Deshanti on the wing kicks back to Brazil to Faison. Faison all the way over, bad pass. It looks like it was tipped, but they're saying that it wasn't.
It was a long cross-court pass by Faison to Deshanti over the outstretched arms of CCS, who saying the basketball coaches for Clark were saying he tipped it. Shanti thought he tipped it. He didn't even look like he went after it, thinking that it was tipped out of bounds. But the argument does not win, and CCS will have the ball. 5 team fouls for Clark. They only have 1 to give in this fourth quarter, so next time they foul will be the last time without going to the free throw line. Nice defense by Clark now in transition. The bunny didn't go for CCS, but the bunny goes for Brazil Moore on the other end.
The bunny's hopping along here at Clark, and well, we'll just see if it hops a little more because that's what they need.
They need to. They need to stay in front of their defenders as McKinnon's getting past him. Martin from the corner, no good. Loose ball out of bounds. No one has moved, so I'm guessing it's going to stay with CCS, and it does. CCS will inbound underneath the basket. Up 7.
Also, something that's happened a lot in this game is just a lot of out-of-bounds plays. I feel like it's a lot more than normally happens. I might just be crazy, but I feel like it's happening a lot. A lot of resets of game.
Reitner has a low post move. We haven't seen a lot of him today, but he's going to get called for the offensive foul with that hook of the arm. When he tried to do that spin move, he took his elbow, and with the smaller defender, wrapped that around and made an advantage. So he'll get called for that offensive foul, and now 5 team fouls per. So, you know, it's in the advantage to CCS because they're a better free throw shooting team right now, and they're up. So if it comes to free throw shooting contest, Clark needs to do something to kind of get that lead back to within 4 or so.
Yeah, Sean Neely picking it back up now, getting it to Deshanti. Deshanti passing it to Miles Faison to Brazil Moore. Into Ely on the inside. Pass back to Brazil, trying to get it in to Deshanti. Puts it up, misses. But Deshanti finally get it back.
So a jump ball is called. We'll go with CCS.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what.
Don't worry about like this person, like this person. Just worry about what's going on, okay? Just say they're passing around the board and things like that, okay?
All right, we're back in it now, and now CCS is trying to pass it around. They're going up the floor now. Number 11, that is Logan Woods, getting it over, and now that is Miguel Ringer passing it to Reitner. Reitner gets it stolen by Ely, but it looks like there's a foul somewhere.
So, yeah, Ely stole the ball underneath the basket, and then CCS foul. It looks like Reitner will be called for that foul, and Reitner is not having himself a good game. One of the best players on CCS is going to have to take a seat subbing out, and Clark will have an opportunity here to cut in this 7-point deficit.
Yeah, it only makes it better for Clark because he's a tall guy, Reitner is. And now that he's out of the game, it gives them a better opportunity to score. Speaking of scoring, that's what they want to do here. Ely with the ball right now, trying to pass it around. Back to Ely. Ely's takes a mid-range shot, kind of forced it. That's not what you want in the situation at all. Ringer has the ball now, trying to get past Moore. Has to kick it out. 13, tries to take a wild shot, McKinnon does, but there's a foul there on the floor.
Yeah, McKinnon sliced through that defense and kind of made a good transition because that pull-up jump shot from Ely, there was no, again, offensive rebound presence for Clark. So CCS now with possession.
And a bad pass, just a bad pass, and it is gotten by Moore. Moore's going to the basket, and he converts. Make it a 5-point game with 5 minutes to play. 42-37 your score.
Defense is going to have to be stout for Clark on this possession. They're going to have to get a stop.
Logan Woods, he has the ball right now. Logan Woods, only a freshman. He does not look like a freshman. I'm just going to say that. But anyways, going back to the game.
Man defense for Clark. Pressure on the ball, and they're going to take a timeout for CCS to talk a little bit about important possession for both squads, down 5.
Well, yeah, like you said, it's important for both teams because Clark, obviously, they need to come back in this game. They got just under 5 minutes to get 5 points, but CCS kind of needs that momentum back. They kind of need it a lot because Clark was just down 9. Now they're only down 5, so, that's a big difference right there.
Yeah, and the turnovers this half have been more in favor of Clark. Only 1 turnover for Clark Montessori and 6 for CCS. So you can see how the tables have turned that way. The more aggressive defense for Clark has provided a little bit more energy, a little bit more momentum offensively. So down 5, they got plenty of time. They're not out of this game at all.
Yeah.
By no means are can they not win this game. I mean, it's a low-scoring game. They can get in this.
They just need to work hard at it. And that's what CCS needs to do in order to keep their lead. And that's why they're going to be trying to pass it around. Woods has it, and he's trapped. And it got to number 2. And an and one Ringer, ringing the bell, gets the and one.
Yeah, and unfortunately it's going to be an and one opportunity. And then a T will be assessed to Brazil Moore after that. And we're not sure why. Maybe it's something he said. But that was an important possession, and quite honestly, it couldn't go any better for Cincinnati Christian. They get the and one, the 3-point opportunity plus the technical foul. So they're going to have an opportunity for 5-point play here.
Man, once again, just a really, really tough opportunity wasted for Clark right now. Now they're down 8 again, just when they were down 5, and that is such a big difference.
It's huge.
2 possession to 3 possession. But Ely is going to the line now, and
so I guess it was on there too. It must have been on Ringer.
Okay.
So we were confused because we thought it was on Brazil, and now they're calling it was on Ringer.
Well, I mean, Ely's a good free throw shooter, so.
Oh, the best. So, yeah, he knocks both down, which is, that's a game changer.
Yeah, no.
Without a doubt.
Well, we thought we were just down 8 from 5, but now we're only down 6 from 5. So,
plus the ball. So we get possession.
Honestly, that went way better for Clark than I imagined it ever would.
Oh, gosh, it went from devastating to
hopeful.
To faith.
Yeah. Hail Mary.
So we're just getting the fouls correctly as the officials come over to the scoring table, trying to make sure we get everything correct. Both squads are going to be in the bonus from here on out with this 4:31.
Which makes it really tough for Clark, obviously, because, you just can't foul. And that's so tough to do when you want to play aggressive defense, take the ball away, but not easy.
Yeah. They're just trying to figure out which fouls go to who because the technical foul was assessed to Ringer. Okay.
Okay, so the plays as they happened were right. We were all a little confused there, but we got it all sorted out now. And DeShante Hawkins will be taking the ball for Clark, looking for something. A lot of passing around the wing right now, around the perimeter, not really finding anything. Sean Neely passing to DeShante Hawkins, trying to go inside, but can't really find it. Oh, a three from Brazil. Moore just off. And the rebound by Bryson Teague. And now Woods has the ball.
Yeah, they all game I haven't been mentioning it, but moving screens have been an issue for Clark right now because they haven't been setting themselves on screens. So they got a couple nice little gifts there as they throw the ball away. Cincinnati Christian will throw the ball away, and Clark will have possession, which is also a nice gift.
Yeah, I mean, you got just under 4 minutes. You can get 6 points. I mean, it's still very possible for them to win this game. Very possible.
So we're going to take a timeout here as Wally Vickers and Clark will take a full timeout. So we'll be right back at 95.7 MRC.
Want to write your own songs, make your own beats, record your own music, get free music lessons? Go to mrccincy.org to find out more about the Music Resource Center.
This is 95.7 MRC.
And we're back. Now we're going right back into the game. A lot more passing around the perimeter, and the air ball three, not good for Clark. And now Woods going back out, and he's a quick guy, and he just gets a mid-range shot, misses. The putback is no good from Ringer. Woods gets it back, though, and now he's going around, and still a lot of passing here. And, I mean, they're being smart with their ball time. And, yeah, getting it around. 23 gets it in with the layup. That's Cameron Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers had that third opportunity there. No defensive rebounding for Clark on that end, which gave them the opportunity to score. And they took the timeout knowing that was a big possession on the other end. They didn't convert, and it's hurting them right now.
Yeah, and now so much passing around the perimeter. That is the Clark special. And, you know, they go slightly in, and then they shoot a three, just like right there, but a miss right there from Terrence McLean.
And that's not a shot you want. Terrence just kind of fired it up. He was guarded well. You've got to get more action, trying to get it into the center. They're only down 8, 2:42 to play. They have some time, but they need some stops and quality possessions.
It's forcing the basketball, just like at the end of the first half. As a steal right there, and that's important right there. And DeShante passing it around on the inside. Ely gets fouled. And free throws, that's good for them right now. That's exactly what you need. You know, stop the clock, get a few quick shots in. You know, it's exactly what you want. And it just puts more pressure on the defense to be safer and not take as many risks, which allows Clark to be safer too, and then it allows them to get better shots.
So they're going small now. Faison coming in the game for Marlin Lions. Lots of height for CCS now. Everyone over 6 foot tall on the floor for CCS, and everybody for Clark is under 6 foot tall. As Ely misses that second one.
Almost stolen right back, but no. And almost stolen right back again, but no. And it was a great throw to Ringer. Ringer missed, though, and now it's going all around the basket, and there's a foul on the floor. And
so Ringer's going to be called for the foul.
It was
so we're going to get a one-on-one here, because it looks like on the rebound, on the miss, he tried to get the ball, and Ely was fouled by Ringer in the process. So Ely will go back to the free throw line. Now 2:09, trying to cut this deficit to 5.
Well, he just missed his last free throw, but he makes this one, so it's like it never even happened.
Well, they need to make these free throws, quite honestly. If they're, I mean, they got 2:09 to play. They're not that far out. They get a couple stops, make their free throws. Maybe a 3 or 2 will help.
Yeah, but you can't force a 3. That's important. You really just can't force it.
Right, which they've been doing. So 5-point now. 5-point deficit for Clark in that press.
And now we have to go back Oh, now almost stolen, but it goes out of bounds, but it gets tipped off of Ely, it looks like. So it'll stay CCS ball.
Yeah, good pressure by Clark's defense there in the backcourt. I thought we had a turnover.
Yeah, it was tough to tell, even though we were right in front of it. It was still a lot to tell. Ringer going in. He's such a big guy, but he gets fouled right there.
And a big call here is a jump ball by the officials going out of bounds. Possession Clark. That's a huge possession. So now with Wally Vickers, the head coach for Clark, finding this as an opportunity and a big possession for Clark, down 5 and the ball with 154. They will take a timeout.
Yeah, I didn't see the jump ball in that. I mean, I'll take it. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to be like, hey, officials, I think you got it wrong. Take it back to the other side. But, it's I mean, it's on the other end of the court. So, I can't say for sure whether, some call or some call didn't happen. I'm not an official and I'm not a player, so I'm not there for it. I'm just like a third person there, so it's hard to say.
Looking ahead, though, looking at this with possession, what Wally's telling his team, you got to be able to score here. You're down 5. You're under 2 minutes. You have to get point. I mean, it's not imperative, but it's very, very likely that you're going to be in this game if you get a quality possession here. And what they need to do, the guards need to probably get it into the middle.
Yeah,
pass it well. Use their speed to maybe create their own opportunity. They need to get to the hole, and then they need to crash the glass, okay? And then the guards probably need to think about leaking out in case of a transition opportunity. So everyone needs to do their role right now in crashing the glass, getting into the middle, hold the ball, have good ball control, and we'll see what happens here as we're starting the possession.
And that's what they've been trying to do all game as our tables shook. Yeah, and there you go. A triple right there.
Shanti Hawkins from the corner hits a 3. Big bucket, now down 2. 139 to go. Cincinnati Christian now on the ropes, up only 2. McKinnon going, and it looks like another jump ball will be called.
Is that charge? No, it's not charge, but
it's a jump ball.
Jump ball. Okay, there you go. And is it Clark ball or is it their ball? It's
CCS ball.
It's their ball, yeah. So, I mean, that just sets another opportunity. They reset their offense. We reset our defense. So it's just another opportunity. Clark is in this game, only down 2.
Yeah, the height right now on the interior is a big difference. And Ringer with that nice floater rings the bell, huh?
Yeah, he keeps ringing and he just won't stop. Miles Fizz on the mid-range jumper. Misses. It was so close. And
rebound goes CCS's way. They got to get back, though.
Woods speeding through, crosses over, but traveling.
And the head coach for CCS is livid right now. He thinks he got fouled. There was no travel. He's going up down the sidelines just trying to hold his breath. Down 4, 1 minute to go. Let's see what the Cougars can bring.
That Miles Faison has the ball, and he's trying to get in, but they got locked up.
That's the 3rd jump ball in a minute and a half.
I mean, what? It's just, it's so much. I mean, it always happens at the end of Clark Cougar games, I feel like. It's always just, let's see how we can stall out this minute for as long as possible. But now Terrence McLean, or DeShanti Hawkins, my fault, shoots a 3, miss.
That was a big miss. That could have meant a 1-point advantage, but now a 4-point advantage still. And we're going to get a timeout. I'm just going to say the Cougars because I'm not wrong. I'm just going to say it's a full timeout. I know that by the Cougars. I'm not sure which one. I believe it's CCS. But, wow. So, again, a 4-point deficit. A roller coaster of the last couple minutes with 3 jump balls. Making 3. They've just been settling for 3s.
Yeah.
Settling for 3s. And I'm not sure if that's what's going to, win them the games. That's not good for them. They shoot 25% from 3. They need to get in the interior. They need to use their quickness.
I'm just so conflicted because on one hand, it's better to create, smart shots, but the fact is that they've spent a lot of time already. At the very end of the first half, they spent about this amount of time on the clock, about 40 seconds. to create just one shot, and then they couldn't even get anything out of it. So on one end, I'm like, okay, yeah, you have to do it. But on the other, I'm like, I guess you have to settle for what you can get, because if you got a guy like Sean Ely out there, he can make that shot. DeShante Hawkins has shown that he can hit that shot. I mean, it's not ideal, but...
Well, they have a lot of guards that can make that shot. It's just they're not shooting it when they're open. Shanti shot when he was open. That was a good shot, right? That last possession was a good shot. He just didn't make it.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to make shots. Both are in the bonus. CCS with another team foul for them will put Clark in the double bonus. So every foul that CCS has now will put an automatic 2 for Clark.
And let's see what happens here. And now CCS has the ball. Woods tried to get
5
it in,
second
but
violation.
He couldn't get anything out of it.
Huge.
The Clark defense doing so well, turning over the ball. 42 seconds to play. It is a 4-point game right now. And,
let's see what they come up with this offense. They only got 42 seconds. They can't dilly-dally around the perimeter.
No, they really can't. And
good defense around the perimeter. They kick it out to the corner. Nice open shot. Tears the
miss.
rims out.
Oh, and he was so open, but he just couldn't convert. And now they have to foul.
Yeah, heartbreaker. 2 threes. If they make them, they're winning by 2.
Yeah, it is. That was just a heartbreaker. He was so open, but he just missed it. That's not really McLean's shot, but I mean, he was so open.
Terrence can make that shot.
He can. He's proven it in the past, but I mean,
he's just as good as anybody else from 3.
Yeah.
So a 1-on-1 opportunity. Front rims
Miss.
it. Rebound Clark. 22 seconds. They can make this happen. They need to score quickly, though.
To Miles Faison. To DeShante Hawkins. Goes
they need to do something.
Gets to Brazil. Gets to Ely. The 3. Oh!
Timeout. They got to get a timeout. Down 1 with 9 seconds to go. They got a foul. So they just took a timeout. Wally got a timeout, and they just gave the points. So we're down 1. They gave the points to the wrong team, but big sequence here.
Huge. Ely, I mean, that was just a beautiful shot by him. Extremely accurate. Now, Ely is 19. You know, we were talking about that postseason game earlier. He had 24 in that game. He is 19 here. They're down 1. I mean, you have to foul immediately. And now CCS is kind of thinking, how can we get the ball away from them? And then Clark has to be like, how do we know? Where do we think they're going?
Yeah, big shot by Ely. So, holy cow, this is coming down. Ringer with 15 points to lead their Cougars for CCS, and R19 coming from Sean Ely to lead our Cougars for Clark. 9.4 seconds to be exact to end this tilt. 49-48, CCS has possession, and the jump ball will go to CCS if a 4th one occurs in this last 9.4, but what Clark needs to do is foul, put him on the free throw line, and then come back down quickly and then try to get a miracle shot. Even if they make both, even if CCS makes both, they can still come down and tie the game.
Yeah.
So it's not unheard of. They're probably going to try to get the ball to Ringer, who's in the game. Let's see who's in the game now for them. They got Ringer, they got McKinnon, they have Rogers, they have Teague, and they have Woods. So let's say Ringer's inbounding the ball. They get it to Woods, and Woods is fouled immediately. Logan Woods is one of their best it is their best free throw shooter at 86%. So
I'm sure that's why they got the ball to him, because they
but
thought,
he is a freshman.
He is a freshman, so the pressure could get to him. So maybe the crowd wants to yell a little bit, scream whatever. Maybe that'll help a little. Who knows?
They're going to have to. 1.1 seconds went off the clock in that sequence.
Pretty good time.
1-on-1 hits back rim. Rebound back to CCS. They tried to have to foul. They do.
Again. And with about 6 seconds to play, now it is Devin McKinnon going to the line.
That opportunity was there. He hit the back of the rim. They couldn't get the rebound. It was a longer rebound, and the reach, the height advantage for CCS proved to be good there for them. McKinnon now at the line. He shoots 61% at a 1-and-1. He hits back rim.
But
and again, Ringer
4.5 seconds now.
They got to block out. Holy cow.
Oh my goodness. even.
Oh man.
Even if he misses again, even if this time Ringer misses, the senior won't have the pressure get to him quite as easily.
All right, we're going to have a timeout here. So, and those two misses, 4.5 seconds down on the clock. Even this is almost an impossibility. If they miss,
and Clark gets it back.
Who
and
knows?
They move down the floor so fast, get a layup or something. It would be a miracle. We're looking for a miracle here, Patrick.
Yeah, you said miracle earlier. I think it was a little bit of a stretch, but now I think it's more relevant here. 4.5 seconds to go, down one. Ringer, who has been ringing that bell all night, has been money.
Yeah.
From the field, the leading scorer now can finish this game for them.
He's ringing the donation bell. He's giving the charity of hoops. Jesus, I mean, seriously.
So that foul, what's happening now is Miles got called for his fifth personal foul and has to come out of the game. So Lions will be on the block. So they need to do something here. I'm not sure if they have any timeouts left, but that missed the ball, and again they get the
3.5, the fourth foul
This
in
is
about
unbelievable.
5 minutes.
This is unbelievable.
And then it's going to another different player. It's going to Cameron Rogers, the junior now. So another timeout. And, let's prolong the game even more, Patrick.
Unreal. So 3 opportunities, 3 misses with a 1-and-1. And now they get the ball out of bounds here. So there was no foul. CCS is going to be taking it out underneath the basket with 3.5 seconds to go. I'm almost at a loss for words. 3 times that they missed a block out. I mean, height difference, be gone.
Yeah,
you need to block out at some point.
No, I can understand the first time, maybe even the second time.
Maybe, because that was a really good it was a good job by, I forget who it was, but it was someone taller than us. Reached up higher and snatched the ball out of the air.
But the third time.
That shouldn't have happened.
Oh, man.
Shouldn't have happened. We're going to be doing a lot of blockout training and practices this coming week, I can feel. But still an opportunity. They need to still inbounds. They've gotten called for a 5-second violation before tonight.
Yeah.
So, wow. We had a wild and crazy ending to the JV game where the Clark Cougars came out on top. Now CCS inbounding. Ringer is the inbounder. They're going to box, trying to get ball screens. They inbound it, but they got a foul. They do. They foul Logan Woods, who was the first person they fouled. But this will be an automatic 2 because they're in the double bonus.
Now 2.9 seconds left. They're shooting 2. And, I mean, 5th foul in like 5 seconds. Makes the first.
Yeah, that's the one that they'd like to miss because now they can. I mean, if they make this one, you'd like to get it on the inbounds, but he might miss on purpose. Let's see what happens.
He won't, and he makes it.
So a 3-point lead. Shanti Hawkins
Here it is.
Getting it from half court, fires the front rim, and that's the way it ends.
What a game. What a game we saw out here tonight. I mean, Clark a lot of the time didn't look so good, but when it came down to the end, they really came back and were really fighting, and they just couldn't get it at the end. And it was really unfortunate for them, but they got to give props to CCS. I mean, they did great when it came down, when they were just up and they had to hold on to their lead. You got to give them props. And it was just a great game we saw, especially at the end. Earlier in the game, CCS had a great advantage, but when it came to the second half, Clark was able to come back, do a lot better, and even though they didn't win, I mean, that's something to take away from this game, even if they were a lot worse.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. It's a tale of 2 halves. Clark did not look good at all in the first half. Came out in the second half, more aggression on defense, got more turnovers, got back in the game. A lower scoring game up until that point, but they started making shots in that third quarter. It made it entertaining, and they had a nice win streak of 3 games. They were going to now, with this loss, go on the road for the next 2. against Seven Hills and Cincinnati Country Day, and they're not easy pushover teams. They're only 2 losses for Seven Hills in conference, and Cincinnati Country Day still not a bad team. They're under 500, but a winnable game there on the road, and then they come back home.
Yeah.
For Cincinnati Christian, though, this is a great win for them. It shows dominance in the conference. They're going to go to Norwood and then Miami Valley Christian at home. So you can see them being at the top of the standings, of the gray standings, as they currently are at the end of the season. And Clark's going to have to do some work now. CHCA is at the top of the standings in the conference now with only 1 loss, and Clark, with the 6-2 conference record, might be tied with North College Hill at the end of the night, seeing how North College Hill does.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can see more of you guys on the MRC radio. We have a couple different schedules now coming back from Christmas break and things like that. We're going to try to get some Walnut Hills games in here. But for Joy Olberding, my name is Patrick Lewis. For everyone at MRC who has done a phenomenal job putting us on the air, doing a great job messing with the IT piece of everything, getting all the plugs and pieces where it needs to be.
It's a lot, yeah.
All the things on the internet they need to do to make us live and current. So for everybody at MRC, thank you so much. Joey, thank you for being my partner. My name is Patrick Lewis, and we will see you at 95 MRC.
The freshest beats first. 95.7 MRC.
It's 95.7 MRC. Let's go.
Cincinnati's new music.